Myself, this is Mahesh Kumar, Assistant Professor of Chemistry. Topic is AIR Act 1981, Prevention and Control of Pollution. Today's topic is AIR Act 1981, Prevention and Control of Air Pollution. Is a today topic which we are going to discuss. Topics under this we are going to discuss is environmental legislation, National Environmental Policy, AIR Act 1981, environmental legislations, National Educational Environmental Policy, and AIR Act 1981 are the topics today we are going to cover in this environmental sustainability. Coming to the what actually this environmental legislation stands for. Okay, this is the environmental legislations are the laws that protect the environment, environmental legislations are the laws that protect the environment, and environment is a collection of laws, regulations, agreements, and common law that govern how women interact with their environment. How women interact with the environment is nothing but environmental legislation. Environmental legislation is the law that protects the environment, and also the collection of laws, regulations, agreements, and common law that govern how women interact with their environment. Okay, it includes both environmental regulations, laws governing the management of natural resources such as forest, minerals, fisheries, and related topics such as environmental impact assessment, that is EPEIA, environmental impact assessment. It includes in this environmental legislations, it includes the laws governing the management of natural resources. Okay, what are the laws that govern the laws governing the management of resources, natural resources? It includes in the natural resources, it includes forest, minerals, fisheries, and related topics such as environmental impact assessment, that is EIA, impact assessment. Here, the environmental law is also seen as a body of law concerned with the protection of living things. Okay, human being inclusive from the harm that human activity may immediately or eventually cause to them. Here, environmental law is seen as a body of law concerned with the protection of living things. What are the living things? Human beings, including the human beings from the harm that human activity may immediately or eventually cause to them, or the species, either directly or indirectly, through by the media and the habitat on which they depend. Okay, this is a laws that protect the environment is given by the environment legislation. Now, in this environmental legislation, today we are going to discuss about the AIR Act 1981. Okay, it comes under the National Environmental Policy. Okay, what actually this National NEP, National Environmental Policy says? What National Environmental Policy says? Okay, here the government of India is given constituted a central body board for the prevention and control of various pollution acts. Such as Water Act in 1974, Air Act. This is what we are going to discuss today, and the Environmental Protection Act 1986. Okay, here the Water Act 1974, Air Act 1981, and the Environmental Protection Act 1986. These are the comes under the Central Board for the Prevention and Control of various pollution acts. prevention and control of various pollution acts such as Water Act 1974, Air Act 1981, and Environmental Protection Act 1986. Environmental Protection Act 1986. Several other acts and rules were enacted accordingly. All of these are constituted the Pollution Control Board in their respective states and accepted in their legislative assemblies. Several other acts and rules were also enacted accordingly. All the state government also constituted the Pollution Control Board in their respective states and accepted their legislative assemblies. What actually this act, Air Act 1981 says? Okay, what is the definition of this Air Act? Air Act 1981. Air pollutant. What actually this means? It means any solid, liquid or gaseous substance, including noise present in atmosphere in such a concentration as may be tend to be injurious to human beings or other living creatures or plants or property or environment. What is air pollutant? Air pollutant means it may be either solid substance, it may be liquid or gaseous substance. Gases in the form of it may be in the noise present in the atmosphere. Such a concentration, it should be more than the concentration required, as may tend to injurious to both the human beings and also the other creatures. What are the other creatures? Or plants or the property or environment is called air pollutant. Okay, what actually this air pollution is? Okay, the pollution created by the pollutant is nothing but air pollution. Okay, the means the presence in the atmosphere of any kind of air pollutant is called air pollution. Air pollution. What is air pollutant? It may be either air pollutant may be either in the form of solid or in the form of liquid or in the form of gaseous substance present in the atmosphere in such a concentration as may be tend to injurious to human beings or other living creatures or the plants or the property or environment is called air pollutant. And the presence in the atmosphere of any kind of pollutant is called air pollution. Air pollution. According to this Air Act 1981 and the prevention and control of pollution, it is a central pollution control board has given constituted under the Section 3 of Water Prevention and Control Act 1974, 6 of 1974. It shall without prejudice to exercise or performance of its power and functions under this Act. To exercise the powers and perform the functions of Central Pollution Control Board for the prevention and control of air pollution under this Act, to exercise the powers and performance. Okay, to powers, what are the powers comes under this Act and what are the performances, functions of the central functions, the performance, the functions of Central Pollution Control Board for the prevention and control of air pollution under this Act. Central Pollution Control Board has been enacted in Section 3 of Water Prevention and Control Pollution Act 1974, 6 of 1974. It shall without prejudice to exercise and performance of its power and functions under this Act. To exercise the power and perform the functions of Central Pollution Control Board for the prevention and control of air pollution under this Act, here the state, what is the role of the state government under this Act? The State Pollution Control Board constituted under the Section 4 of Act 1974 to be state board under this. In any state in which water prevention and control of Act 1974, 6 of 1974 is in force and the state government has constituted for this state. Okay, according to this State Pollution Control Board constituted in a section under Section 4 of Section Act 4 of 1974 as given that any act, any state in which Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1974 is forced to and the state government has constituted for that state. Okay, here the State Pollution Control Board under the Section 4 of this Act says that such a state board shall be deemed to be state board for the prevention and control of air pollution. Under this, what it's State Pollution Control Board says means under the Section 4 of the Act, such state board shall be deemed to be a state board for the prevention and control of air pollution under Section 5 of this Act, and according to the State Pollution Control Board shall, without prejudice to exercise and performance of its own power and functions under this Act, exercise the power and perform the functions of the state board for the prevention and control of air pollution under this Act. Here, any state in which water prevention and control of air pollution takes place. Under this, accordingly, the State Pollution Control Board shall, without prejudice to the exercise and performance of its powers and functions of under the Act, exercise the powers and perform the functions of the state board, prevention and control of air pollution under this Act. Here, the Constitution was developed that in any state government in which the water prevention and control of air pollution is taking place, it should be there that it should be under the control of state board itself. It should be under the control of state board itself under the Section 4 of Act 1974. Here, what actually this Air Act 1981 prevention and control of pollution says. It is conferring on and assigning to such boards powers and functions relating thereto and for matters connected to therewith. Here, what actually this Air Act 1981 says: prevention and control of pollution. Okay, here it is nothing but conferring on and assigning to such board powers and functions relating to their and for matter connected herewith. The decisions were taken at the United States Conference on Human Environment held in Stockholm in June 1972. Here, all the decisions of this Air Act 1981 prevention and control of air pollution were taken at the United Nations Conference. Whatever the decisions that to be implemented in this Air Act 1981 will be taken in the United Nations Conference on Human Environment held in Stockholm in June 1972, in which India participated to take appropriate steps for the preservation of natural resources of Earth, which among other things include the preservation of quality of air and control of air pollution. What are the in which the India participated to take appropriate steps for the preservation of natural resources of Earth, which among other things include the preservation of quality of air and the control of air pollution. Quality of air and the control of air pollution will be taken place under this Act, the Air Act. Here, the decisions will be taken at United States Conference on Human Environment, which was held in the Stockholm in the June 1972, and here India has participated in this United Nations Conference to take appropriate decision or steps for the preservation of natural resources. How we are going to preserve the natural resources like air, water, soil, minerals present on the earth. Among other things include preservation of quality of air and also the control of air pollution. Control of air pollution. Here it is to be considered necessary to implement the decisions aforesaid. Here the decisions considered necessary to implement the decisions aforesaid insofar as they relate to preservation of quality of air and control of air pollution. It enacted by Parliament in 32nd year of Republic of India. Enacted by the Parliament in 32nd year of the Republic of India. Here the decisions necessary to implement the decisions aforesaid insofar they relate to preservation of quality of air. What actually this Air Act says means how we are going to preserve the quality of air and also how we are going to control the pollution due to this air pollution. It enacted by the Parliament in 32nd year of Republic of India. It has been enacted in the 32nd year of Republic of India. The Parliament has given the Air Act 1981, the preservation and control of pollution. Preservation and control of pollution has been enacted in the Parliament, 32nd Republic of India. 32nd Republic of. According to this Act, provides prevention, control, and abatement of air pollution. The Act provides for the prevention, control, and abatement of how we are going to avoid the air pollution. Air pollution. What actually this air pollution defined as? Air pollution is nothing but anything, any presence of any solid, liquid, or gaseous substance in the atmosphere in such a concentration which leads to the harmful to human beings and or any other living creatures or plants present in the air. Okay, according to this air pollution is defined as presence of solid, liquid, gaseous substance in atmosphere in such a concentration tends to be harmful to human beings or any other living creatures or plants. Noise pollution has been inserted as a pollution in Act 1987. Noise pollution has been inserted as a pollution in this Act in the year 1987. Under the Section 17, the Central and State Pollution Control Board have to check whether the industries are strictly following the standards regarding the discharge of emissions of any air pollutant. Under the Section 17, Central and State Pollution Control Board have to check whether industries are strictly following this Act or not. Okay, Section 17 of this Act, Central and State Pollution Control Board have to check whether the industries are strictly following the standards regarding the discharge of emissions of any type of air pollutants. Based upon the analysis, consent is granted or refused to the industries. The air pollution is nothing but any kind of solid, liquid, or gaseous substance present in the concentration higher than the required, which leads to harmful to both human beings as well as the environment, the living creatures or plants is nothing but the pollution, air pollution. In this, noise pollution also been included in the inserted in the Pollution Act 1987. Under this Act 17, under this Section 17, the Central and State Pollution Control Boards have to check whether industries are strictly following the standards regarding the discharge of emissions of any type of air pollutants. Based upon the analysis, consent it is granted or refused to the industries. Under Section 19, the state government declared an area within the state as an air pollution control area. Section 19, explains about the state government. Government declare an area within the state as a air pollution control area. No person should establish any industrial unit without prior consent of State Pollution Control Board. No person should establish any industrial unit without prior consent of State Pollution Control Board. Section 20 of the Act has the provision for ensuring emission standards from the automobiles. Section 20 of the Act has provision for ensuring emission standards from the automobiles. Section 31 of the Act, a provision for appeal has been given. Provision for appeals has been made. Appellate authority consisting of single person. Here we are going to appeal whether this act is valid or not. For this, authority should be kept one single person or the 3% appointed by the governor. For this, what we need to do means authority consisting of single person or the 3 persons appointed by the governor is constituted to hear such appeals. We can appeal whether this act, this area should be under the Air Act or not should be under. For this, there should be authority consisting of a single person or the 3 persons appointed by the governor is constituted to hear such appeals and filed by some industry due to some order some order made by the state board within 30 days of passing the orders. No person should be established any industrial unit without prior consent of State Pollution Control Board. Section 20 of Act has provision for ensuring emission standards from the automobiles. Section 31 of AIR Act, a provision for appeals has been made. Appellate authority consisting of single person or three persons appointed by the governor here is constituted to hear such appeals as filed by some industry due to the same some order made by the state board within the 30 days of passing the orders. Here, what actually this Air Act 1981 prevention and control of water, control of pollution takes. What are the standard? There should be standards of quality of air, water, soil for the various areas. Standards for has been made for the quality of air, water, and soil for the various areas. Maximum permissible limits for the concentration of various environmental pollutants for different areas. Maximum permissible limits of concentration of various environmental pollutants for the different areas, the procedures and safeguarded for handling of hazardous substances, the prohibition and restriction on handling of hazardous substances in different areas, and prohibition and restriction on location of industries and to carry on process and operations in the different areas, and the procedure and safeguarded for the prevention of accidents which may cause environmental pollution. These are some of the acts that came into standards of quality of air, water, soil for the various areas, and there should be some maximum permissible limits for concentration of various environmental pollutants for the different areas, and what are the procedures required, and what are the safeguarded for the handling of hazardous substances. Hazardous is nothing but the harmful substances, harmful substances present in the harmful substances present in the environment, and the prohibition and restrictions on the handling of hazardous substances in different areas, prohibition and restriction on location of industries and to carry on the process operations in the different areas, procedures and safeguarded for the prevention of accidents which may cause environmental pollution. Standards of quality of air, water, or soil for the various areas, maximum permissible limits for the concentration of various environmental pollutants for the different areas, procedures and safeguard for the handling of hazardous substances, prohibition and restriction on the location of industries and to carry on process operations in the different areas, procedure and safeguard for the prevention of accidents which may cause environmental pollution. Okay, here this act came in the environmental includes interrelationship between the biotic and abiotic component. What is a biotic? Biotic is nothing but the living component. Abiotic is non-living component. It may be any solid, liquid, gaseous substance present in such a concentration which injurious to environment is called as environmental pollution. Any substance, it may be solid substance, it may be liquid substance, or it may be gaseous substance. It should be present in a permissible amount. If it is present higher than the required amount, leads to the concentration which is injurious to the environment is called environmental pollution. The Act has given powers to central government to take measures to protect and improve the environment, while the state government coordinate the actions. The standards of quality of air, water, and soil for various areas, procedures. These are the same like whatever the given the prohibition and restrictions on the location of industries and to carry on the process in the operation in different areas wherever the how we are going to prohibit, how we are going to restrict the pollutions that are located on the industries, and procedure and safeguard for the prevention of accidents which may cause the environmental pollution. The concentration of various environmental pollutants for the different areas. Concentration of environmental pollution. The procedure and safeguard for the handling of hazardous substances, prohibition and restriction. So here the environment is including the both biotic and abiotic components. procedure and safeguards for the prevention of accidents which may cause the environmental pollution. The reference is given under this here, the section 19 and section 20 and section 31. Section 19 is the state government declared an area. Section 20 act as a provision for ensuring the emission of standards from the automobiles. Section 31 of AIR Act gives appeals for the as made by the man. We can the authority is given by the single person or it may be a 3-person appointed by the governor is constituted to hear such appeals and filed by the industry due to some other made by the state board within the 30 days of passing the order. This is what the Air Act 1981 Prevention and Control of Pollution explains about this Air Act and what are the standards required, what are the sections under this comes under this can be explained in this. The references comes under in this Air Act 1981 is Robertson Market Sustainability Principles and Practices, Routledge, Taylor and Francis Group 2017, and the responsibility for teaching sustainability in the context general for the sustainability education. These are the references we are going to follow. One is Robertson Market and the Sustainability Principle and Practices, Routledge, Taylor and Francis Group 2017, and the responsibility for the teaching sustainability in context. These are the references, friends, we are going to follow for this environmental sustainability, responsibility for teaching sustainability in context, general for the sustainability education.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.